a minute. You can't say the way I'm living. It's not independent. It's written in scriptures. I'll be the one to go get it and do it for all of my siblings.
Welcome to the MoreLifeAction show, where we dive into compelling stories, thrilling adventures, and interview real people.
Each episode will be showcasing a different walk of life, so buckle up for a roller coaster of experience, laughter, and inspiration.
This is the MoreLifeAction show with your hostess, More Life Mia.
And your host, Action Jackson.
Hey. Mia, what's going on?
So,
Episode 3.
I always do the the hand signals, like
the gang.
I think I just want to show off my tattoo.
You know, that's all right. If you got it, you got to flaunt it, right? That's what they say.
And I got it. Hey. I think. I don't know.
Well, I don't have any hand tattoos, but I can throw the symbols, you know? Anyways, what I know is that we've had an excellent 2 shows. Our first episode was with
Trevane Barnett.
Controversy King himself.
Mm-hmm.
And then after episode 2, we got a little loose on the goose, but it was more like tequila.
Note to self, don't pod and drink.
Or is it don't party with Marty? Nah, we always party with Marty. That was episode 2, and it was a lifetime. Plus, all the puppies. Hopefully one of our subscribers or one of our viewers was able to hit him up and buy one of those beautiful puppies, because those were some excellent pocket bullies.
They were super cute. I loved them. I loved sniffing them.
I know.
I was like all up in the air with the pup, like...
They were awesome dogs. I'm not for the puppy breath, but the dogs were pretty cute still. But
I love puppy breath.
This is episode 3, and I know that we have an excellent show up ahead, and we have an excellent guest.
I'm super excited. We had the pleasure of seeing him live on stage at a comedy show.
In action. And
now he is at
the MoreLifeAction show.
So without further ado,
we're going to introduce Anthony Engelbrecht.
How are you? I'm over here. So
good to see you guys.
All right. Welcome.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Well, thank you for coming. Honestly, I know that we just briefly talked about how we went to see you at a show at the Dawn.
Right.
And a lot of people don't know this, but I'm going to say that it's an absolute pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
I saw you up on stage, and you're basically an artist of your craft. You're a master of your craft. And a lot of people don't really take this into consideration, but the fact of the matter is getting up on a mic or getting up on a stage with a mic and getting the attention of hundreds, if not thousands of people, bro, that must be scary. Like, I know personally, I know that day you saw me.
I was about to say, I can let you tell it.
We'll get to that a little later, but like, I'm with him. Even like in the podcast, we have no audience, and sometimes we're just like, so it's kudos to you. To be able to do that. It must have taken a lot of practice.
Yes, lots of practice. To be honest, I didn't even think that I was like a comic like that, like prior. And I was telling my friend a story, and it was just making him laugh so much. And he had been going on for like months about telling me to get into stand-up comedy. He'd known me for years at that point, but he was like you're meant for something else. And I just told him a story that was absolutely hilarious to him, and he was actually the first person that convinced me to go on stage. Like, he literally almost, I'd say, dragged me on stage. Like, we found an open mic that very night, and he gave me like 5 shots of tequila. I was scared. I'm not gonna lie.
It always starts with at a friend's house.
Yeah.
And then it lingers on with a few shots, and then boom, you're a fucking celebrity.
Well, like, you need a little liquid courage your first couple of times, right? I didn't have anything. I didn't have any material. I didn't have anything written down. I took the 5 shots, and I'm like, what do I say? And he's like, just talk. Right. So, I mean, I looked back at that old footage, and it was atrocious. By my standards, I would say it was atrocious. But to be honest, it
was funny.
There was. I mean, it wasn't that it wasn't funny. It was just very raw. Like, I didn't. It was just very rough around the edges. You know.
Do you remember that first joke? How long ago was it?
This would have been like, what, 11 years ago now?
11 years ago. So do you remember that first joke where your friend died of laughter?
Oh.
I know, it's a hard one. Should have put that in the lightning round.
Oh, that would have stunned me.
Do you
hold on. He doesn't know anything about that yet. Hold on.
Yeah, no. What was lightning round?
Now you do.
You know what?
You know what? I brought it up for a reason. I brought it up for a reason.
All right.
What do you guys
So
gonna
we
do
know what
right
time
now?
it is. If you don't know, you're going to know.
You guys ambushed me here right now. Yes.
So, all of our guests go through the lightning round. The lightning round is where our hostess, More Life Mia, will ask you 10 questions, and you have 1 minute to answer them. So before we start, please give me a moment.
You guys ambushed me here, right?
Listen, we gotta keep it fresh. We gotta keep it,
It's my favorite part of the show.
on the toes.
You got to keep me on my toes.
That's it. Hold on
All right,
one
let's
second.
see how sharp I am.
I'm gonna set up the timer.
I kept my index cards out, as you know.
Let's see how sharp these comics are.
All right, are we ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
I mean, well, ready or not, I'm here, right? It was gonna happen whether I was.
Here
I'll
we
count you guys
go.
in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Name a superpower you wish you had.
Invisibility.
Okay.
Name the title to your Netflix special.
Don't squeeze my bread.
I like that one. Dave Chappelle or Cat Williams?
Dave Chappelle.
That's what I'm talking about.
iPhone or Android?
iPhone.
Yes.
Sorry.
If you can have dinner with anyone dead or alive, who would it be?
Mike Tyson.
Okay. Eddie Murphy or Richard Pryor?
Ooh. You know what? Their styles are very similar, eh? Eddie Murphy clearly took a lot of his cadence from Richard Pryor. It's apparent.
25 seconds.
So then I would
You're
say
on the clock. You're on the clock.
Eddie Murphy.
We'll revisit. We'll revisit.
Okay. No. All right.
Super bad or Hangover?
Super bad.
15 seconds.
Mad TV or SNL?
Not TV.
Over SNL?
What?
Any day of the week.
He didn't even let you finish the question.
Any day of the week. I remember both of
Favorite
those shows
genre of movie?
5, 4.
What
3,
genre of movie
2,
would Gangs of New
1.
York be in?
Sorry.
Drama.
Drama. Okay.
Okay.
Can we squeeze that in?
So he didn't finish the lightning round. We got to question
9.
9.
I kind of did because we said that we were going to revisit that one, but I did give you an answer, but you still told me that we were going to revisit it.
Okay.
All right. So, but you know what? Listen, this is the lightning round. This is More Life Action. We got 10 questions. Let's ask all 10 questions.
Yeah.
Let's give him the 10th question.
Give me all of them.
10th question?
Give me the
Okay.
10th question.
This is a good one. Sell your soul for money and fame,
Yeah.
or be broke and go to heaven.
I'm already living one of those. So like it ain't
Did you
hard
sell
to
your
just
soul?
keep. No, absolutely not. Maybe you know what? Maybe I'd be further along if that was something. I'm scared of success for that very reason. I don't ever even want to be faced with that proposition. Like, you know, like
Yeah.
Yo, have you seen lately all the people?
Yeah,
that, like,
I have.
bro, like everybody always been talking. If you used to see back in the day Orlando Brown, everybody was like, yo, this guy's lost his mind.
Yeah.
He's been talking all this crap.
Yeah.
Yo,
But now a lot
it's
of the
starting
stuff
to
that you're
connect.
saying, all those dots are starting to
connect.
get connected, and I've been seeing that from time. And I don't know like how deep into discussions that we can get on this show regarding like, you know, media and who's running shit or whatever the case is. But a lot of the things that used to be hidden are now coming to fruition. You know, a lot of the things that people said were fake are now coming to the forefronts.
And it's just out there blatantly.
And that's the thing.
They're not trying to hide it anymore.
Ain't nobody trying to hide anything, right? Because what do? They like
Everybody's woke.
subconsciously. Well, they're not woke. They're not woke. They think they are, but there's been like a shadow cast. So the things that we used to be taboo or unspoken or didn't seem like it was realistic, it's been slowly integrated into society
to make it a norm.
So now it's become norm. What do they call it? They call it I forget what it is, but they keep on gradually introducing things, and then it just becomes another part of your existence. 15 years ago, if somebody were to say, hey, there's UFOs in the sky, you'd be like, get the hell out of here. That's crazy. The concept is so foreign and far-fetched. But now you
it's
talk
not
about
so
UFOs.
Have you seen this? Have you seen the video out of Miami? The
No.
Miami Mall?
I heard about that, bro. Don't even get me started.
Bro,
Listen,
supposedly everybody's cell phone, and this is a society that everybody has a cell phone,
All of their cell phone
everybody's
stuff.
live
Yeah.
streaming, everybody's filming, taking photos. Like, you'll see a person dying, no one's helping the person, but they'll be filming it. There'll be like
film
5
it.
different
Exactly.
angles.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Nobody
you're telling
knows
me
how
that
to
nobody
help
has the
these days.
footage?
Nobody has the footage. And did you
It's
see
all
Did
erased.
you see the police response to the situation?
That
There
looked
was
like
100 police
that looked like the
cruisers.
Boston bombing,
the
marathon.
marathon bombing, right?
Yeah.
So there you go.
my God.
But I don't want to talk to. I
hate talking about
I'll
news.
be
It's
real.
so
I don't want to talk
depressing.
about this stuff because you know what I'm saying. I haven't even like touched success yet, and I don't want to.
That's another
See the
episode.
You will. You will.
That's another episode.
That's
So
another
you
episode.
picked. Why did you say Gangs of New York? Is that your favorite movie?
No, it's not. But I like movies that are in that genre. So like Gangs of New York, The Departed, most things by Martin Scorsese.
Love those movies.
Like The Departed is one of my favorite. It's one of those movies.
You like Leonardo DiCaprio.
I think he's an amazing actor.
He is.
You know, but honestly too, like it's not just.
What's eating Gilbert Grape, y'all?
that was one of the first movies I'd ever seen him in. You know what? One of the first movies I've ever seen Leonardo DiCaprio in was Basketball Diaries.
That's one of my favorite movies because he played the heroin addict.
And do you know why it was such an amazing movie? Because it was unexpected based on what the title was. I
thought it was a basketball movie.
Dude, I saw the advertisement for that on the TV Guide on Channel 5.
Guys, Basketball Diaries, if you haven't watched this movie.
Basketball Diaries is one of Leonardo DiCaprio's first movies when he was first breaking out. It's phenomenal. And it's actually based on a true story, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What was his name? Oh,
I don't know what the guy's name is.
I remember his name, but
that was crazy. Yeah. I just remember watching that and being like, wow.
Yeah.
He's definitely a good actor, but I'll tell you what the secret is.
Tell me.
Secret is you have to have a girlfriend that's under 25, and when they hit 25, you got to switch it up.
Is that what the secret to success
Bro,
is?
you see his girlfriends, as soon as they hit 25, it's like something happens, and then all of a sudden he has a 20-year-old girlfriend, and he waits till it's 25. Bro, this is real stuff. You can Google
it is real. It is real.
I'm just saying that's the secret.
I just don't know how to accept these suggestions. I'm like, do I write this down?
Do I get to choose?
Do I just smile politely?
I don't know. I'm just saying these are the facts. Maybe what works for him doesn't work for us. I don't know.
Man, I don't know.
So, Eddie Murphy or Richard Pryor? Yeah, they are a little bit similar. Are any of those guys one of your like inspirations of getting into comedy?
Yeah, if I were to have to say, I would say that it was Eddie Murphy. That would be my inspiration, only because he was in the era. Like, he was an 80s guy, right? I remember
those leather.
Yeah. Well, I was too young.
Leather
we weren't allowed to watch it.
We weren't allowed. I wasn't allowed to. I remember my mom specifically not allowing me to watch Raw, not Delirious Raw. I remember I used to like.
So good.
I used to do my hair like I used to pat the sides because I wanted the top always high. I would be doing my hair in the mirror, and I would think that I was Eddie Murphy while I was doing my hair. I'm not even kidding you. I'd be like trying to do the laugh.
Yo,
nobody can laugh like Eddie Murphy.
Nobody can laugh like Eddie Murphy, but Eddie Murphy all the way.
Oh, he's a classic.
Yeah.
Delirious Raw.
Personally,
but Richard Pryor's good too.
I like Eddie Murphy stand-up more, but I liked Richard Pryor's movies a lot more.
Oh, really? I never really seen any of his movies.
Bro, they're classics.
Yeah, they're classics.
Hear No Evil, See No Evil?
No.
What was the white guy, his partner, that he used to do all the movies with
The one that was in the Willy Wonka?
Yeah. I can't remember his name. But, yo, that one, Hear No Evil, See No Evil, basically, Richard Pryor is blind, and the other dude is deaf.
Right.
Oh, God.
And between the two, they have this little adventure.
That's crazy.
Honestly, it's proper if you have the opportunity to watch it.
That would definitely be hilarious to go back. A lot of those, like for example, Richard Pryor, when I started getting into comedy and discovering who he was, I had to go back and like rediscover his body of work because he wasn't part of my time, right? He wasn't part of my generation. Like the only movie that I remember him from was Harlem Night. Yeah. With Eddie Murphy. And there was and Red Fox, and there was like a whole cast of like comedians, you know what I'm saying?
So do you see yourself, or would you like to see yourself on that level of fame?
Well,
and Kevin Hart is pretty.
He's pretty up there. Like, he's probably one of the highest paid.
He sold his soul.
He sold his soul.
For sure.
He did. 100% he did.
Oh, so he would have chose Sold Your Soul on the lightning round?
No, but the thing is
why do you say that?
The greatest guys that the devil pulled was to convince people that he doesn't exist. So people that sell their soul, they don't talk about them selling their souls. It's just an understanding that they did that. And everybody who has done it, they all understand. Like, you don't talk about it. It is what it is. You just keep on moving forward, kind of a thing. Do I want to be on that level of success? Sure, I would like to. But at the cost that it would be for me in order to be on that level, I'm not ready to take that plunge. I'm a godly man. I've always been like a God-fearing man. I grew up in church, and there's just nothing. Money doesn't move me like that. You know, I don't get moved by money like that. I need money to survive, but I wish I didn't.
You do it for the passion.
Money's the root of all evil.
No, I want to make it, but I think for me, I want to be on a level where I'm known and unknown. If you know, you know. If you're like, you know what I'm saying? I want to be able to sell out a theater.
That underground movement.
Yes. I feel like I want to be where like I have enough of a fan base that I can sell out a theater, but I might.
You still have your privacy?
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? I can
like
still walk in the grocery store and not everybody knows who I am. Like, maybe 1 in every 50 people are like, "Are you?" And I'm just like, "Nah." And they're like, "Yeah." And then
that's very interesting because I find that most people that have talent, just as yourself, like 95%. Okay, I'm just throwing out numbers. I'm lying, not 95%, but like good portion is end goal for them to reach that certain stature
A lot of
where
them.
they're
That is the goal.
celebrity and fame, and that's why they're like.
Well, that's how
one reason why they're doing it.
Right.
So
Well, that's
for
how
you
you
to
gauge
say
your success.
otherwise, it's very interesting to me. Like it's humbling,
Right.
I guess. you
Well,
could
that's
say.
how you gauge your success. It's one of those industries that you can only be as successful as the people that know you, right? And you and I were having this conversation because remember, somebody tried to add me to talk to me about some stuff, and my account's blocked on Instagram.
Oh yeah, and that's another thing too. Is like you're kind of like a public figure.
I'm supposed
but
to be a
then
public figure, but I'm also a
Your
private
handle
person.
is private.
Yeah, it's weird.
So I find that a little bit interesting.
It is. It's weird. It used to be public, but then I don't know. There's like people will be like, "Hey, how you doing? Like, can I interest you in timeshares or, just like people would be
Go to
like,
Florida.
yeah, or like people would just get in my DMs and be like, "Hey," I'd be like, "Hey," they'd be like, "What's up? Who are you?
You know?
Where do we know each other from?" And this just kept on happening. And then I get paranoid. I'm like, "Are you a cop? I'm not even doing anything
No,
wrong."
I mean, but that's not too
But
bad.
that's why you have multiple inboxes within the same account. You have the general box, and then you have the other one. I don't know,
Requested.
the requested.
Requested
And I
message.
think there's another one, but
But I'm a caveman.
Yeah.
I don't know how to operate any of this stuff. My day
We're
job
still
is I'm a
learning.
bricklayer. Like, you know what I'm saying?
we're still learning.
It looks like you guys got a handle on it all. Like, shoot, this is all to me just says technology. I don't know. This is complicated. Wires,
It's all-
electricity,
look, we gotta
computers.
give it up to our producer Jonah. Straight up, we just started saying his name right, and aside from that is the fact that
Jonah.
he just tells us to speak into the mic, look at the camera.
And he handles the rest.
He handles the rest.
he makes us look good.
He makes us look good.
Thanks, Dad.
Straight.
Sometimes.
Dad takes care of it all, eh?
That's it.
Make sure the lights are on so you can read your homework, eh?
All right. Well, Anthony.
Yes.
I mean, I know that Mia's got a lot of questions, and I know that we want to get to know you more
Sure.
in depth. And
Yeah.
or do you want me to start off with the question?
Shoot.
or-
Yeah.
Shoot, I'm an open book.
Okay.
I am an open book.
All right.
Everybody that knows me knows that I love telling stories.
He's
so
an open book with a
you
private
be
Instagram.
with a private
With a
Instagram.
private handle.
Yeah. If you get me in this kind of setting and it's just us, I'll tell you what you want to know.
I like that. I like that. So
It's gonna be posted on YouTube.
we know that you are a comedian. We just found out that you're also a bricklayer,
Right.
but we want to get a little bit more in depth without you getting uncomfortable, of course.
Can't get uncomfortable.
But yeah, we want to get to know you more. And what we would like to know as a comedian, what in the record that you have of your life, in your stint or in this process of harnessing your talent.
Yawn on our
That's
show.
not because of the show. That's not because of the show.
That's the
though.
bricklayer part.
Yeah, that's
That's the bricklayer part.
when you're
I
freaking
will
picking up
call
blocks.
you out.
When you're picking up, I seen her eyes. The way she looked up, she's like,
No, I know. I was like, yo, I
I'm
felt
like,
it.
is that a yawn?
I felt it, and I was
"Did
like,
you
oh
feel
man,
that?"
yeah.
She's
That's why I was like,
"Excuse me, are we boring you? Huh?"
yeah. But anyways, in the 12 years or 11 years that you've been a comedian,
Yes.
and one thing I know about life is that when we talk about losses or wins, we could probably list every single loss that we've ever had, but
Right.
it's very hard to let people know a win. It's,
Right.
It's just the way that our brain works.
Yeah.
So can you tell us what has been your worst experience as a comedian?
I could tell you my worst show, sure. The worst show that I've ever done. It's very simple. When people ask you to do shows, a lot of them don't understand the dynamic. When you're doing private shows for people, producers, if they know they're putting on a big get-together, then it's a different situation.
More
They know
structure.
that there's going to, They know that it's going to be a theatrical setting. It's a performance-based event. So they do all the necessary work in order to make it a performance-based event, right? But when you're doing private shows and you're doing shows just for a couple of people in their living room, the dynamic changes. And a lot of the times, unless you tell them what it is you need in order to make it more
Presentable, I guess.
presentable or
More structured.
it's more structured, they have no idea either, you know. So you just I learned you can't go in with the assumption. You got to tell them what you need in order to make the event successful. And I went to go do a baby shower. That's coming back to me.
Yo, a baby shower?
Yeah, I got
baby shower.
I got asked to do a baby
I mean,
shower.
that would be fun.
Yeah.
Well, you would
per
think so.
se.
You would think so. Here's the thing. I don't know if it's gonna
Laugh
be
so
fun
hard.
or not.
Laugh so hard that the person goes into labor.
If I could ever,
Best case
two
scenario.
things I always said. if I could make somebody laugh so hard that they died, I'm sorry, I'm not saying that I want them to die, but like just like like, you know what I'm saying? That's power, man. That's crazy funny.
At least he left with a smile.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the very least.
He left having a good time, you know?
That's it. That's
or
proper.
if I can make somebody laugh so hard that they give birth, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
That's power.
Peter Pants, at least.
At least.
Peter Pants. Let's be real.
You got to think about how much
That's a
power
good
that
one.
is.
That's power. I was gonna
Make
say.
somebody laugh already is an involuntary action. So if I can not only make you do that, but make you not able to stop and make you apply so much pressure that you can't help but excrete a little bit of fluids. Wow,
That's power.
That's fucking power.
That's power.
Right?
Winning.
And hey, and you do that without even touching the person.
Without even touching them. Like, I didn't even touch
No
you.
physical contact. Just
No physical contact. Just my words.
It's that Jedi mind trick.
Right? Just power.
So what was bad about this baby shower?
Okay, so the first problem was, well, just to give you some context, when I got to the place, there was like some dudes downstairs, and one of them was like a well-known Toronto rapper. I don't know if I could say his name. I don't know him personally. It's just to note that he was there. I don't know this guy. Let me just state that for the record.
Catch a case if you say the name?
No, not at all. I don't know this guy. Like I said, I don't personally know him. It's just a point of reference.
Him.
I just know that he was there.
Okay.
And I know. Can I say his name?
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. I don't like. Again, I don't know him, but
Listen, if you start getting threats, let us know. We'll bleep it out.
all right, whatever. Yeah, fair enough. No, it was that guy Bizloke. Okay, that's just to say,
God.
you know more about what you
No,
just did than I know more about what you just did.
I don't want to. I don't. This is the third episode, right? The third episode.
But he's got. They're throwing up gang signs, growling like DMX.
No gang
just at the
signs for
damn.
me this time.
I'm
Yo,
only
he's
saying that to
DMX.
say. I'm only just saying that to say, like, I don't know.
He
him,
was
he's
there.
Right? And I hailed him up. I'm like, yo, dog, I seen your stuff before. Like, you know, like I've seen you on YouTube and all that. He was like, oh, thank you. So I go upstairs. There's kids running all over the place, and the girl's like, all right, come on in. She's like, we're gonna get everybody settled. It's my sister's baby shower. I'm throwing this whole situation for her. So why don't you go in the back room? We're gonna get you a plate of food. When it's done, we're gonna get the kids settled, and we're gonna get more of an adult setting, and then we're gonna bring you out. No problem. So I don't know who's in charge. So if somebody comes into the back room and says, hey, get on stage, I'm not going to be like, and who are you? It's not, right? So I'm back in the room and I'm eating my food, and the girl who's engaged in whose party it was for, the pregnant lady, she's like, you're the comic? I'm like, yeah. She's like, well, come on up. I'm like, now? She's like, yeah, come on. Okay. Right? So I walk out into this completely non-conducive function. Kids still running all over the place. They might as well have been hanging from a chandelier, right? I'm seeing people playing cards, other people playing dominoes. There's food going around. There's drinks. And she, like, cuts through all of that to be like, excuse me, guys. Excuse me. Hey.
Yo.
They're like, guys, we have a special guest. We have a comedian.
A comedian.
Get out up here. No music.
No applause, nothing.
My stage was in front of the kitchen sink.
Nice.
Like in the rec room. Kids still running around. By this time, I looked over and I realized that Bizlow guy was part of the whole engagement of the whole situation that was going on. He was part of the night. He knew somebody there.
Yeah.
And now he's looking at me like, oh, I seen this guy downstairs. Who is this guy? And I take the mic and I'm like, well, and I'm trying to just compose my thoughts amongst all the noise and all the rambunctious that's happening all over. And finally, I'm like, do you think we can maybe get the kids to settle down? And just then that Bizlow guy goes, Lordy, you them. Tell a joke, bro. I just remember in my head going, oh, no, right? Am I being forced to tell jokes? Reminds me of when I was a kid and they bullied me to beatbox.
Yeah.
I said, you ever been bullied to beatbox before in your life?
I've been bullied. So whether to beatbox or not,
when you grow up in the hood,
bullied.
don't show people your superpowers because they might turn them against you. Like I'm like,
Because you're not invisible.
I was just like, yo, Mike, you do that again? I'm like, anyways, I gotta go. Yo, come here, bro. Yo, hold on. The guy, everybody's getting high. Yo, run the beat. Yo, I have to run the fucking beat.
Yeah. Man's trying to drop a 16.
I'm like, yo, Ghost, my lips are getting tight. Shut the fuck up. Yo, bro,
I'm dying.
I want to tell you that's a joke, bro.
That's real life.
Hostage. They even made me like scratch and switch it up. Like I'm like, they're like, y'all don't like this beat.
Run
Switch
the
it.
next one.
And I'm like,
You're really good. You're really good at this.
yeah, I went home. My mom was like, "What's wrong?" Yo, bro.
Yo, I'm dying.
Right.
You know what?
Dying.
You see, that's how I know you were. Yo, that's how I know you're at 80s because only the 80s youth them would find this bullying nonsense hilarious. Like we found things, we laughed at things we weren't supposed to laugh at back in the day. Cause you're almost like, God help me, I know I'm going to hell, but you can't help yourself. You would have been laughing at me while Simon. You were the guy being like, come on, guys, stop laughing at the same time.
Yeah.
Guys, come on, guys.
Now.
Just do it, but like.
Just do it. Yo, just do it one more time for the. Do it all over again.
So Bizloke intervenes, bullies you into saying some jokes.
Says, yo, loud pitney them, tell the fucking jokes. I don't know if you guys have ever told jokes under duress.
Nah.
It's not a pretty situation to be in. And I tried a joke and I tried another joke, and when I tell you they weren't giving me nothing, they were giving me like, bro, it was like you would swear the way that they were ignoring me that I owed them money. Like you know what I'm saying, bro?
Was it like kid-friendly jokes or like adult jokes?
No.
I've heard your adult jokes.
I was gonna
which
say,
you're gonna
you
say
don't remember the show?
Kid-friendly jokes. Kid-friendly jokes.
I don't.
Yo, I talk about life, bro. I talk about my
Should have
life.
declined that baby shower invite from jump.
That's one thing you will never do as a comedian. That's what I try to tell people because they'll hire someone. They're like, well, if he couldn't do it, why'd he take the gig? Because he's a comedian. We'll never say no to a gig. We'll do any show you are giving us the opportunity to take. Yeah. For better or for worse, first of all, we're going to learn something for ourselves, for our betterment. Yeah. Number two, we're getting paid.
It's practice. It's paid practice.
Yeah. So,
did you get paid?
Let me tell you something. By the end of the show, the woman came on the stage and she asked for the microphone the same way you would your kid when you know they have something in their mouth or their hand they're not supposed to. She's like, give it to me. Give me the mic. You know, your doc's like, drop it.
Leave it.
Leave it. Let it go. I like drop the mic. She's like, I didn't even say goodnight. So now I'm back in the
Did you get to finish your food at least?
I went back into the coat room and I just waited there. Like, I ran back to the coat room like a raccoon ran back to a tunnel. Like,
what do you say? Coat room? What do you mean?
That's where I was. That's where they came and got me from. They sent me in there. That's where that's where I was waiting, bro.
Listen.
And then I ran back
from the bottom. I started from the coat room.
And then they sent me back in the coat room. Okay. So now I'm waiting back there. It's better than the trunk of someone's car. Get back in the trunk.
Man's on timeout in the coat room. Okay.
So then I go back in. So I'm back in the coat room. I'm sitting there eating my curry chicken. And the lady comes where she's like, why'd you go on stage? And I'm like, your sister told me to. And then she's like, I'm sorry. You know, she has mommy brain. And I'm like, that's crazy. And then I'm like,
oh my God, I'm actually.
You know what's coming next, Doc.
Man's trying to hand out the invoice.
I'm like, I'm like,
he's trying to do like a.
I'm like, that's really unfortunate. I don't know if you want to handle this.
Yo, man's about to get paid.
Yo, bro,
we're not gonna televise if he got paid or not.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you if I got paid or not. I was like, she's like, yeah, you know, mommy brain, and I'm sorry, but I'm like, that's crazy. I mean, I'm like, yo, how much am I getting paid for this again? Okay. And she looked at me, and she just crumpled up 150 and just flung it at my chin.
Oh, in the
dropped on the floor, and you know what I did? I'm like,
picked it up and left.
I'm like, I don't need your money, and then picked up the money
as soon as she walked out.
And you know what added to it? I was driving this Nissan Sentra from 1998 with a broken muffler. So when everybody heard my car, I peeled out like. Bro, I look like the saddest, most unsuccessful comedian to ever grace the world, bro. I'm sure they were like, where did you find this man, bro?
I'll be honest with you, I wish we had like some sort of technology that we can just
go inside my mind.
No, not even your mind. I'm just saying, after you left, They probably all felt like they got finessed.
They roasted me. They were probably mad.
If I was a fly on that wall.
I put it out of my head. That was one of those things, like when traumatic events, I put it out of my head. I still sing it out of my head in the shower when I think about it.
Oh my God,
Like,
I love
I'll
that.
be like,
But it's
So that was the worst.
It was a bad one.
experience.
It was
You
a bad
definitely,
one.
yeah, that's.
I don't have a lot of bad shows. Even from the time I started, I have shows that don't necessarily go my way per se, but I don't really have shows where I completely bomb. So the ones that I do bomb, I do remember them, and I'm very sensitive about my work. So
Yeah.
I'm always trying to like hone my craft and try to get better and better and better. So even shows that are not so, like what somebody else would just consider a bad show, but not necessarily a bomb, it's a bomb to me. Because I'm not just trying to get pops of laughter. I'm trying to get roaring laughter.
Bro, you got me.
Like he almost choked.
Yo,
I'm crying.
man started. It used to be full. We're already halfway, and we're not even half the show.
So
Dying.
What's like one of your best shows that you've ever done?
when I told the story about my life on stage, that wasn't even a comedy show. It was so the way I am, generally speaking, is I'm a natural storyteller. But in order to get to the point to realize or figure out how to tell stories, I had to first learn the whole structure of telling jokes on stage. So now I wouldn't say I've mastered that. I'm always learning stuff. But in doing that, I figured out how to I don't know. It's one thing to just do something and you don't know how you do it or why you do it. But when you start really diving into comedy, you start asking you dissect it, because you just did things that just impulsively came to you. But then you start thinking like, I made you laugh. Why? What was it that I said that triggered that laugh? And then you start dissecting, and then you go on a bombing campaign, just a bombing run, because you're trying to figure shit out. But then you understand, and then you understand who you are and what you want to say and the way that you want to say it. So I did a one-man storytelling show. But generally speaking, when I tell stories, I always make them funny. So it was a story, a 3-part story about my life. It was called The 3 Summers of Madness, where it detailed the 3 summers of my life that made me, that defined me, I think, coming into my later years, my prominent years in life. And it was a very successful story because I got to convey exactly the message that I wanted across. I told this crazy elaborate story. It was like a 2-hour story. I got a standing ovation by the end of it.
Nice.
And everybody who knew me personally got to see play by play how I got to this point right here. All the pieces. So you know what you know about me now based on this. But it was like you saw from a child, you saw from me living in bad neighborhoods, you saw from me getting bullied. There was a part of the story where I talk about getting into a fight with a pimp. Yeah. Well, yeah, I had to fight a pimp in an alleyway.
Do we have time for
Hold
that
on.
story?
In what city?
Do we have
In
time
Toronto.
for that story, Jonah? Let us
This is
know.
Toronto.
Yeah?
This is Toronto, 2003. I fought a pimp in a downtown alleyway in Toronto.
Dying, like,
Yeah, because you know what? Because in Toronto back in the day, there was a lot of alleyways and there was a lot of vacant lots. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I fought a pimp.
over.
Do we have time for this?
Yo.
Yeah, I'll tell you quick. Okay. So breakdown. I used to sell.
I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
Before you,
Right.
can I just ask one quick question
Yeah.
about this before we get
Yeah.
into your story?
Yeah,
Are you gonna ask the pimp's name?
I'll tell you the pimp's name.
I was actually going to. I want to know if I know. No, I'm just joking.
Oh,
No. To be honest, I was gonna say,
Shit, man, you know you play.
he had baby powder. That's all I wanted to know.
Shit, Oh man, you ran out there. I give you some of mine, dog.
All right.
So in order to understand, just to give you some
Are you
context,
actually asking his name?
I'll tell you. I'm going to tell you anyways. So to create context, I used to sell drugs downtown Toronto. I don't know if anybody knows what it was like in Toronto 23, 24 years ago. But all of Yonge Street from Dundas, not Dundas, Gerrard, going down to Dundas on the east side, so you know where Sam the Record Man is. There was the Big Slice Pizza place. There was Sam the Record Man.
Yes.
That whole strip was just filled with drug dealers.
Yeah.
It was all drug dealers, but all of them mostly sold weed. Anyways, I was selling weed and I was buying.
We were so bad back in the day.
We were so bad.
Like,
but the thing is,
now it's on every corner.
Yeah, but we were like different. Like we were like adults already.
Listen,
at like
we were
15.
marketers. We were marketing. Like, okay, a lot of people don't rate this about drug dealers from back in the day. But we were our own marketing team. We were our own accountants.
Do you
know
know-
what I mean? Like,
If I could be honest with you, do you know how much I learned like business wise from being a
100%.
drug dealer?
Yeah, you don't learn any of that
all
shit in
math.
school.
It's all
math.
Like I can't even tell you how good I started to become
an
with
eighth,
numbers.
a quarter. You know what I mean? We learned fractions.
It's not even it's not even a joke. You learn business management. You learn how to save your money. You know how to reinvest back in your business. You learn all of that. Your re-up is your reinvestment.
100%. And
That's
you know,
crazy.
And you learn to work as a team
You learn to work as a team
and manage.
time management. Everything is it's crucial. In order for you to be successful, you got to be consistent, right? You always got to have product. You always got to have fire product. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
You got to know how to handle shit.
Not
right?
that ice and
Handle
sugar up in
situations.
there.
It's all fun and games. The only part that gets crazy is when like you have to like do something. Like it's like, oh shit, I just wanted to sell these drugs. Now I gotta go beat this guy up.
Because, you know, that's why.
Let's get back to the Pimp
You ever
story.
give somebody a reluctant beating?
I was gonna say that's why for that credit, forget it.
Yeah.
that crackhead ain't paying you back.
Shit, forget it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You gotta go beat up a crack. You know, you ever shell out a reluctant beating?
Yeah, but the
you
problem
ever
with the
not want to
crackhead,
do
yo,
what you know you gotta do,
Look,
but you really
the
don't
reality
want to
is
do
when
it?
it's a crackhead, the crackhead just keeps on coming back up.
I'm not gonna lie, they never stay down,
your,
bro.
Your hand starts hurting. You're like, oh fuck, man.
Bro, not this one. He fell down, but he started like yelling after. He was just like like that, not like it was more like like his voice was a weapon.
Man, it was
And-
Like it pumped him up.
He was
Yeah.
going,
Like,
he
I
was
want
going
more.
Super Saiyan.
Yeah. One time I got into a fight with a crackhead. This was over nothing. That's not that I was selling drugs. We got into a fight and he beat me up.
I believe it.
Yeah.
They never
Did the
stop.
pimp beat you up too?
No, he didn't beat me up, but the crackhead did. And you know why? Because I should have known not to fuck with him, and I should have known based on the way he threatened me. His threat was very old school. I didn't understand it at the time. Cause I told him I'm gonna fuck him up, and he said, "Buddy, you're cruising for a bruising."
That's when you know you're
When he
losing.
said that, he's like, he gave me an option. He said, "Buddy, you better make like a banana and split it." And he said,
Oh my
and then he
God,
went,
this is a real
Yeah.
80s line.
And he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna knock your block off." And he looked at me from the side like this. And you know what he looked like? He looked like, you know what he looked like? He looked like, I call the man Jim. Jim is somebody that we've all seen before. Okay, he's got like a mustache like that, right?
Yeah.
Has like a hat that probably he won in a case of Budweiser. You know, is probably in there
In the
somewhere,
2-4.
right? Yeah, he smokes cigarettes that come from like
Skinny
an
face.
Altoid container or like a big plastic bag. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He has like a mild opioid addiction. You know what I'm saying? Smells like cigarettes and animals that you can't readily identify and beer. You know what I mean?
That's
Doesn't
Jim.
Good with his hands. Good with his hands. You
Man's
know?
a trade.
He's a
He's a tradesman.
He's a tradesman.
Not working for anybody,
Not
but
working
he
for
can
anyone,
fix anything
but he
you
can
need.
fix anything.
100%.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
100%.
All of his stories of the past comprise of places he used to get into fights back in the day.
Yo, I used to have a mechanic like that.
So you
not
got
gonna
beat up
lie.
by Jim.
Well, yeah. So what he did, he punched me in my face, but it's how he punched me. He didn't punch me like this. He didn't punch me like this. He punched me like this.
Uppercut.
Yeah, I've never been uppercut in my life. He gave me like a Street Fighter Balrog uppercut. Bro, I swear this man like slid across the floor and gave me like uppercut me in my face, bro.
Yo, I'm gonna try to see it if I can find some sort of animation of Balrog so that everybody could understand what the
Yeah.
uppercut
Yo,
was like.
Street Fighter.
If
for
you've ever been
days.
Balrog uppercut, you don't know yourself until you've been uppercut by a gym. You know what I'm saying?
I remember back in the day.
Man.
Oh, sorry, I was gonna tell you a story.
You know what? No, let's hear the story. 'cause
Let's hear the
this-
pimp. Yeah, let's
so
hear the
I'm
pimp story.
I'll try to break it down because there's a lot of moving parts to the story. But essentially, I used to sell drugs. I used to buy weed. Starting with weed, I used to buy $25 half quarts, and then I used to get $5 nickel bags, and then I would stuff as much weed. So you would generally get about 5-6 grams into one, and I used to sell those for $10, and then I would keep doing that and re-up my money. And I ended up in a situation where there was these boys downtown chilling, and I used to hang out with them. Everybody was selling their respective drugs, right? There was even people there that were selling girls and stuff like that, but that was their business. And this girl came up. I was hanging out with the pimp at the time, not just him. There was him and a bunch of other people. And she came up and she's like, "Well, there's this John who's got all this money. We should go rob him, right?" And I can talk about this because I'm sure the statute of limitation has ran out, and I'm sure that John isn't gonna be like, "That was me that was trying to buy sex." You know what I'm saying? I'm sure he wants to forget about it as much as we all want to forget about it, right? And so they're like, "Shit, let's go rob him." And I wanted to be cool with the cool kids. I wanted to prove that I want to be, I'm supposed to be downtown. So I rolled with them. So we went and they did. They robbed this guy, took all of his money. Everybody ran in the guy's pockets, and I ran in his pocket, grabbed the big stack of money like this. I'm like, guys, I got the money. So then I went back to the guy. Like, you know, we ran away. We went back to wherever, like our lair. I don't know.
The meeting point.
Just think of something cliche, like a warehouse where we divvied out the cash. You know what I'm saying? And I gave them most of it. I only took $100 because I had a pocket of money already. I didn't need their money. You know what I'm saying? So like a couple days later, I'm downtown and I'm with this girl. And these guys appeared out of nowhere, the same guys from that night, but they had a different demeanor to them. So they literally appeared like almost like a shadow, just out of nowhere. And you know, yeah, no, not like that. More like they appeared out of the nothingness of the alleyways. And they were just so like, what's up, dog? Like, you know, very much like that. And you always know when people are going to rush you because, like, they get very inquisitive and their chins start getting itchy. They're like, so you sin. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sin. So they're like,
the play.
Exactly. So they're like, yo, we heard there was more money there. I'm like, there wasn't more money there. And you know when somebody really wants to beat you up, it's when everything you say is annoying them.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what you say.
It doesn't matter what you say. Like, I'm like, yo, there wasn't a lot. Yo, why are you raising your voice, dog? Why are you raising your voice? I'm like, sorry. Now, why'd you take the money? Bro, there wasn't, I swear, what's wrong with this man, bro? Why you moving your eyes? Like, you know what I'm saying? They just want a reason to hit you.
They're trying to justify it.
They didn't hit me. They robbed me. They robbed the girl that I was with, took my weed, took my money, took my cell phone, took everything, and then told me that I couldn't go back downtown anymore. So I was still there, still hanging out, kind of like, bummed out. And I'm walking up the street, and I bump into these two drug dealers, older heads on the block. And they're like, kid, what up? And I said, I just got jumped. Or I guess just got robbed. And he said, what? You got robbed? Oh, you know what? And the girl was pointing, saying there was more money there. She was there with them. She was like, there's more money there. And I was like, bitch, shut the fuck up. And she was like, right?
Man almost
she
became
set you up.
She was the one.
Snitches get stitches.
No, man almost became a pimp instantly. What'd you say?
Yeah. I wanted to be, like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I know there wasn't more money there, but she's saying that there was more money there. So it's my word against hers. So they took everything. So then I go and I end up seeing these two drug dealers, and they were on their own mission. Apparently one of them had dropped a gun running from the cops, and they were like searching garbage cans downtown looking for it. And I told them, I said, look, this is what happened. They said, roll with us, kid. Just, let's take our mind off of stuff. So we ended up walking down the street, and there's a pizza between Dundas and Girard. There's
I actually know that one.
You know what I'm talking about?
A lot of people know that one.
Old arcade. There's an old arcade that used to be on the same side. We're walking by, and coincidentally, the girl's there, and she's eating a pizza. I swear, she was happy as a pig and shit. Like, she was, like, twiddling her feet, like, eating pizza. Like, you know what I'm saying? Ha, we just robbed this guy. Ha, ha, ha. And I'm like, I told one of the guys, I'm like, that's the girl. This guy sprung into action. No, first off, I always side note by saying God is always on my side, because these guys don't know me from nowhere. Yeah. They don't know me enough to put their name or themselves on the line, but for some reason, they took a liking to me.
Yeah.
And the guy went into the room. Where's the kid's money? Slapped her off the chair. Like, slapped her off the chair. She's like, I don't know, but you can have everything. She's like, take everything. She started pulling her earrings off, her hair out. She started pulling money out of her tits, then her tits. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's like, money. She's like, here, take it all. Like, she was so scared of these guys, right?
Yeah.
And here I am, picking stuff off the floor while he's still looking at her like this. And he's like, is your stuff there? While still looking at her. And I'm like, my money's not here and the weed is gone. And he's like, and he goes, she's like, I swear that's all I know. Right?
Oh, shit.
And then he's like, kid, get out. And when I leave, and he just like followed her as he's slowly leaving behind.
Oh my
God. So here's where everything gets very interesting. The guy said this guy stole the shit. They call him. They're like, give the kid back his stuff. They're like, okay, tell the kid to meet me tomorrow. They all kept calling me the kid. They were all older than me. I was 18 at the time. They were all like, I can't tell you how old they were, maybe 30. I don't know, whatever. But they were like, okay, we'll give him back his stuff. Tell him to meet us here at this time tomorrow. Meet him back at the pizza shop. So the next day at 6 o'clock, like they said, I came to the pizza shop, and I was expecting to get my shit back. So then I seen the guy and the girl. I seen the girl and I seen a guy, and the guy was like, yo, that's my girl. You got her slapped in the fucking face. He said, yo, she's not here. We got to go do something. But when we come back, not only are you not getting your phone, but I'm going to let her slap you in the fucking face. Now, look, I'm 18 years old.
Yeah.
I don't know much, but here's what I do know is when I get nervous, it's because I know I'm going to do something. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do something. You know what I'm saying? I'm not tough. Not like, yo, I want to fuck you up. It's a whole buddy. Oh, man, don't let me do this. I feel like it's the same feeling like a soldier gets. It's like you're about to do your duty, and you're like, holy shit, I'm scared as fuck, but I'm going to do it.
Yo, I'm sorry to interject, but just because
You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about because look, there's been times in high school where I was about to get into a fight.
Yeah.
And I knew what was happening.
You don't even
and
want to fight.
Tell me
per
how.
se.
No. And tell me how my leg starts shaking.
Yeah.
And the whole time I'm thinking, I'm like, yo, I hope this guy doesn't see my leg shaking because he's going to think I'm a
Yo,
bitch.
so
But
many
no,
thoughts
it's the
go through your
adrenaline.
head, bro.
It's the adrenaline rushing through, and that's what's causing your shit because you're in a fight and flight mode.
Yes.
And one of the two. And I know that I can't fly.
Yeah.
And if not, I'm catching an asthma attack.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for that one knockout punch.
But you're not you're not about no long fighting or nothing like that, right? Like your anxiety is up.
Yeah.
Like you're like there's so many variables, right? So when he came back with her, he sent her to go hit me like he sent her to hit me the same way a proud dad, the same way a proud dad would send his kid to go pet a pony. Go ahead. Go on. You can pet him, you know? He's like, go hit him. And she's like, I can hit him, really? And I'm looking at her because I don't know what I'm going to do, dog, but I'm going to do something.
Yeah.
And I just remember she put her hand up, and as soon as she did, bro, I don't even remember. And I gave her like a Rick James, Charlie Murphy. Like I came down with that shit. Like, bam,
Unity.
buddy, she dropped on the floor. Just then, I seen her pimp running down the street, and I hit her with the right. I seen him coming. I hit her with the left. Seen him coming. What? Like it was so instinctual.
Oh my God.
He was like 7 feet tall, man. Like, as far as I remember in my head, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for me to turn around, I'm like, bam, and I hit this guy. And God gave me the strength of Solomon because I punched him in the face and I expected him. I thought he was right on my tail when I looked back and they were propping him up because he was falling. But just then, somebody started whistling. I swear. 30 black guys in white shirts started coming out of every crevice of downtown Toronto. I seen 3 niggas come out of a sewer. I seen it.
Fucking Ninja Turtles.
Two were
Ninja Turtles. Toronto's Ninja Turtles
Bro,
came out.
I seen 2 paragliding in. 3 of them started coming out a bit like, bro, and they all started chasing me down the street. Now, by this time, I'm in full fucking fight and flight mode.
Yeah.
Because now I start running across the street. I'm not waiting for cars to pass. All you hear is, It's 2001. It's downtown Toronto. Nobody gives a fuck. Like, you know what I'm saying, dog?
But you survived.
You did.
That?
You survived it. Well, you're
survived?
here.
We have to wrap it up?
Not yet.
All right, so
I
let
know
me
we
finish
got at
telling
least
you.
one more.
Okay, I get across the street. You know why I'm running? I'm looking for a hot dog stand. And I don't want a fucking hot dog. I want the knife the vendor has.
I was like, I mean,
Yeah,
if you're hungry at that moment,
No, hell, well, I would have worked up an appetite
I was gonna
for
say,
sure.
man, ran like 4 blocks.
So here's how I end up fighting the pimp. I run away. I go back to the same, like just fast forward. I swear, almost like a montage. Like right back, I'm back in front of the dealers, and they're like, "You kidding me?" Like imagine, fuck all this shit, fuck you, everything you just seen. It's just like fuck you, and then back in front of the dealers, are like, "Are you shitting me?" They're like, "Let's call him again." I call the guy. He's like, okay, hold on. He said he's not giving you back his shit unless you fight him. He's like, do you want to fight him, kid? I'm like, I don't know. And they're looking at me like, man, this kid's a bitch. I'm like, no, I'll fight him. They're like, yeah, he'll fight him. You want to fight him? He had to keep the phone away from his ear because the guy was like, ah, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
Ah. The fight was scheduled for 10:30. It was 8:30. So for 2 hours, we kept looking for their gun, the guy's gun, right? Now, we started making our way there. We wanted to get there early. We found an abandoned alleyway. This fight was sanctioned. You know what I'm saying? The only thing we were missing was that guy that goes, let's get ready to rumble. I felt like Rocky in version 4 when he went to Russia to fight Ivan Drago. Because I'm in the alleyway and I'm looking around and I'm like, I don't think he's coming, guys. I don't think he's coming anymore. Because I'm sitting in the alleyway by myself. You know what I'm saying? They're behind me like fanning me with the towel.
Yo,
like,
don't pee because I'm about to. Yo.
they're like fanning me with the towel. Like, just hold on
That's
a second,
my
buddy.
favorite Rocky. It's the
That's
best one.
Right? So now I'm like, yeah, he probably isn't going to show up anymore. Let's just go home. And then one of them goes, wait, look. Look in the they might as well have had No, remember when Ivan Drago came to the stage and they had all that Russian music, like dun, 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 and then they had his poster like drop at the back.
Flags.
They had a poster, but it was of the pimp. It was just him with his pimp hat like this, with a like one of those pimp hats on, furry or
Silky Johnson.
right? So listen, first I seen 3 guys, then 5 guys, and then more people. I hear like, fuck him up, motherfucker. And then he's in the middle. And then there's more people. He had a fucking procession with him.
Damn.
It was me and 2 crusty drug dealers back here, bro.
That didn't find their gun.
I couldn't find their gun. We're in a piss-soaked alleyway.
Oh man.
Bro, the fight happened. A guy came and was like, man, y'all niggas, y'all let me search y'all motherfuckers, and if I find it, I'm gonna fuck you up. This was my ghetto. This was the best we could do in terms of a ring officiant. But you know what I'm saying?
Hey, everybody needs a job.
Everybody needs a job.
Yeah.
Didn't speak good English. Very, very Canadian. Y'all, my name, y'all, if I see anybody fighting there, I'm fighting there. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, okay, they searched us. Everything was good. We start going at it. This guy grabs me, buddy. He's taller than me and throws me up against the wall, and he starts fucking going on my ribs, buddy. I felt like the Matrix, like Neo.
Shit,
like remember when the agent starts going.
And it goes a speed up.
Yeah, bro. And I'm like, fuck, he's gonna kill me, right? And I'm like, God help me. And I heard a voice say, the power is in your hands. I looked at my hands. My hands were like, I'm like, God help me. He's like, the power's in your hands. I went like this. You are absolutely right. Bam! I hammer fisted this guy. Bam! Hammer fisted him again. I jumped and he like fell down. And when he fell on the floor, I rolled on top of him and started gouging his eyes. I'm like,
I wonder where that pimp is.
He gets
today.
up. He gets up. The guy gets up. I get up. He kicks me. I kick him. He falls on the floor. I try stepping on him, but the guy fucking caught, like, he seen what was coming, and I tried stomping him. He started rolling away from my stomps like a fucking action movie. Like, I'm trying to step on him, and he's like, I'm like, come here, you motherfucker. And he's like, fuck you, nigga. And starts like rolling away from my kicks. Kicks me into a thorn bush. We get up. We're looking at each other. He's like, fuck, you want to go? I'm like, you want to go? Like, I'm ready. I'm charged now, right? And he's like, he's standing there, and him and I are standing there.
You guys are tired at that moment.
We're both tired. And he goes, put your hands down. I said, what?
You did good.
Put your hands down. And then I go,
Yeah, that gun say biscuit.
here's what I did. He goes, put your hands down. And I go, my daddy told me to never give up. Which, to be honest, I don't know why I said that. I don't even know my dad. I don't know why I said that.
They don't have to know that.
We didn't have to know that part. So we put my hands down. He's like, I believe you didn't do it. Gives me back my shit. Gives me back my weed. No, the weed was gone. They smoked it. They gave me back my money. Gave me back my cell phone, which was the most important part, to be honest with you. And they
Nokia Fido.
Yeah, Nokia Fido. Okay, oh, hell yeah. But here's how it ends. Here's how it ends.
More respect.
Oh, hell, crazy respect. But here's how it ends. I thank the 2 guys, the 2 drug dealers. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, thanks for all your help. And then I start walking away like it's an 80s movie. And as I'm walking away...
You go like this?
No. Yeah, I don't pause. No, and as I'm walking away, they say, hey, kid. I go, yeah. They said, what you going to do? I said, I'm going to go sell some weed.
Yeah.
Then they're like, nah, roll with us. You sell crack now.
They upgraded you.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, so
Now
that's
you're rolling with the big boys.
that's that story.
I'll be honest with
I
you.
love that.
I don't even know. I don't think we even have time. I had one more.
My face
I had
hurts.
one more question, but my insides hurt. I'm gonna have to check. No, I'm good. I'm still good.
As long as you guys,
I don't know. Do we have time for one more? Okay, listen. I'm so sorry.
What is this one more?
One more.
yeah, go ahead.
I've been dying the whole show.
Yeah,
I haven't been able to breathe properly.
yeah,
I'm coughing.
yeah.
My insides hurt.
This sounds like all hallmarks of a good show.
An amazing show, but what I want to know,
Yeah.
I don't even know if I'm going to be able to survive this.
Yeah.
I want to know your funniest joke, or at least the joke, your go-to joke to end the show, because we're coming to an end of our show, so I want the people to know what they can experience coming to your show.
To your
or at the
comedy
very
show.
least, like your go-to joke, the one that your bread and butter, you know?
I could tell it, but I just don't want. I don't like. Okay, so I think I do have one. So
Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, this joke you are about to hear is for entertainment purposes only.
It is for entertainment purposes, and please understand the basis behind the joke. I was just trying to speak Jamaican. and I just fucked it up. I came across in a funny way. Because when people go to Jamaica, they come back with an accent, right? Like Holy Bumblecloth, you know, like Holy Ross Cloth Susan. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. No, let me hear your accent. You got a nice Jamaican?
I don't even try
let
that.
Me hear, just let me hear a wagwan.
No.
Wagwan.
Let's hear a wagwan.
Wagwan?
Wagwan.
What are going on?
What are going on?
I don't do that.
So when I'm around Jamaicans, I like to speak in a Jamaican accent, you know, and these Jamaicans were having a conversation and they were talking about the female body part that they like the most, right? And the first guy was like, you know, say personally, I'm a leg man because you know the leg them are nice and soft, and when you put some oil on the leg, them bomber clot, it's like your hands are going straight to heaven. So now they got to the next guy. Next guy's like, you know, say I am a titty man. You know, the titties are nice and soft. You play with the nipple them bomber clot. It's like you're playing with the dial on a radio.
On an XM.
Right? On an XM, you know. Come in, transmission. You know?
Right. We like
Coming
that.
in clear.
We like that.
Word. Okay.
I said we.
Duly noted. Oh, shit. Loud and clear.
Notes taken.
Not notes taken.
Oh my God! Back to the joke.
So now, when me, I like a girl with a nice ass, right? I like a girl with a nice ass, and in Jamaica, an ass is called a bati. Right, so now these guys are like they're titty mans, and you know this guy's a leg man. So I said, well, you know the legs are nice and the titties are nice, but personally I'm more of a bati man. They're like, what? I'm like, I didn't even understand what I had just said. I was there like, what? I'm like, what? I'm like, I'm a bati man. Is there a problem?
Man's the biggest bati man.
I'm like, yo, I'm the biggest bati man out here. Like, what? You want to fight me about it, bro? Because I'll fight you. I'm the only bati man you know.
You got some unexpected dates that night.
I had some explaining to do. That much I can tell you. So I turned that into a joke. That was actually a true story.
Yo, I'm dying.
I love that.
Yo, listen.
I love that.
Anthony.
I mean, what else did they want you to say?
I was just being honest. I was just like, I just meant I like a girl with a nice body.
Yeah.
Which would make me
He likes the booty.
bati man.
Simon. Technically.
It's like, why did they give that word? Like, why did they use that word to refer to those?
Listen.
Well, it's
Why
pretty
did you-
obvious because a bati is an ass, and there's like
Oh my God!
an ass enthusiast. Like,
It depends where you're.
I'm a butt guy.
Yo, that's it. You know, we like a bum. We like, you know.
Like a mom. He's
We like the bum.
I just I like a nice round bumper. Like, you know what I'm
A
saying?
female.
Female bumper.
man.
That's it. But you know what? Anthony, I want to thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, man.
Haven't laughed like this in a long time.
I'm glad. I'm glad
I
we could
think
do this.
and not to say anything bad about the show before when we went to go see
Yeah.
you, but I think I've actually laughed more today than I did there. It was good.
Because we have more of a personal vibe.
And not only
It's like,
that,
you know what I'm saying?
it's right here. You know,
It's
we,
right here,
we were
yeah.
like in the third, second row.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now we have you right beside each
Exactly.
other. But I want to thank you so much for coming
Thank you
to
for
our
having
show.
me. I really
I'm hoping
appreciate
that eventually, when we have our All Stars episode, we're gonna bring you back some more
I would
stories,
appreciate that.
some new jokes. You know what I mean? And probably some
here
more in-depth
for it.
questions because I don't think one episode's enough to get to know the real Anthony.
There's so much.
Definitely
There's so
not.
much. There's so much that we need like 2-3 hours to
Yeah.
cover like everything. My life's crazy. And then we'll talk. But everything will be posted on my Instagram.
And
Okay,
just to
so
let
you
you
can-
know, as a freebie, you send us a link of your flyer. We're gonna post it up as part of our sponsorship, and that brings us to one part that we want to let all of our viewers to know. If you'd like to sponsor our show, reach out, send us a DM, shoot us an email. Just make sure you're not a brokey, but we'll work with any budget,
Or
whether it
send
be
us
gear.
some gear.
You know?
We rock
This is
it.
episode 2.
We rock it.
Episode 2 sponsor. Just letting you know, CBKC, shout out to them, the Canadian Bully Kennel Club. They got a show coming up on May. So that being said, Anthony, again, thank you so much for being part of the show.
Thank you for having me,
I hope
brother.
you enjoyed it as much as we did because I'm dying.
Yeah.
I felt like I should have been paying for this. You know what I mean?
I was this close to peeing myself, but I didn't. I'm not gonna admit that on camera, even if I did. But you almost had me. You
We'll
almost
try
had
again.
me.
We'll try next time.
I think to be
Better
honest
luck
with
next
you,
time.
the next time we're not gonna let anybody know, but we're gonna be wearing some Depends or some Huggies for adults.
And be like, yo, bro, we're bringing Anthony back, bro. Yo, we get some adult size diapers. That way you can enjoy the jokes. You're like, ha ha.
That's it.
Let it flow.
You're just like, next question. You know.
that comfort feeling.
So guys, I hope you enjoyed episode 3. This is
the
More Life Action Show. Ba, 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 ba.
For a minute, you can't say the way I'm living is not independent, it's written in scriptures. I'll be the one.
Now a word from our sponsors.